I simply cannot believe that this is going to happen once again. I am staggered to think that it's the exact same people behind it who were responsible back in 2007 to 2008 that did it the first time. It staggers belief that these people could be so stupid. Now, I might sound a bit incredulous, and you may be wondering why. Well, it's because of what I've brought to you in this week's newsletter. Cast your minds back to the so-called GFC back in the 2007 to 2009 period. Recall the horror of those days as billions and billions of collateralized debt obligations, or CDOs, and many different home loan mortgage products that had been packaged and sold on start to unravel and cause a massive dislocation to the global financial system. Think about the massive US banks, such as Bear Stearns, that were caught up in this and eventually failed. Think about tens of dozens of financial advisors who were responsible for that, either fired or out of work. Mind you, not many criminally charged, yes? Well, here we are now. It's March 2025, and I've just realized we're going to have another repeat of that same event. It's incredible, frankly, absolutely staggering. But the reasons why is what I detailed to you in this week's newsletter. So what you should do is click on that description link below the video, double bang the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of these future videos, and please take your time to really read, absorb, and understand the information in this week's newsletter. Without much hyperbole, I do believe that this could possibly be the most important newsletter I send to you this year. I know it's only March. It's probably a big call to make, but frankly, I say that simply because the truth now is stark. We are going to have GFC 2.0. It's going to happen again. Not today, but very soon. And the reasons why will simply astonish you. And that is what I put in the newsletter. We are talking about one of the shadiest, most low-profile group of individuals in the world right now. And they hold our financial future in their hands. I'm talking about the private asset fund management groups. You don't hear much about them. It's quite deliberate. US banks are not taking the lead in repackaging structured finance and debt anymore. No, it's actually these fund managers that do it. US banks simply act as the middleman. If you go back to 2022, just a few years ago, we're talking about perhaps $1.2 trillion worth of investment funds that these asset managers were holding. Those funds, of course, need to create income, and therefore they will put to work buying all sorts of debt. Now, the problem in the United States particularly is now they own debt against everything. It's not just mortgages and commercial loans anymore. It's literally everything that you can think. And of course, that means the inevitable consequence when you put in the fact that we now have potentially fund managers chasing $10 trillion worth of the private credit market, something that only totals about 20 trillion. You have the same people who are responsible for the first GFC, allied with 30-somethings who have never experienced a real estate cycle before. And then finally, and the most important part of this whole thing, is the timing. We are almost at the end of the current real estate cycle, and now news comes out from SF Vegas, which is the annual structured finance industry's conference there in Las Vegas, about their future plans. Absolutely staggering. I have no ways of sugarcoating this. This is really, really, really bad. This will not end very well at all. So I hope you do get something out of this week's newsletter, but I tell you, it's extremely sobering. And I can't make any apologies for that because The stark facts are what they are. This is the beginning of the end.